Doomsday zombies, many suns and many blessings, decisive killing, villains, the end of the day is approaching, and Lin Yuan has obtained a time-stationary multi-carrier multi-blessing system. In order to survive, I became a ruthless person, abandoning everything that had nothing to do with me. Iron and ruthless, decisive in killing. Slay zombies, collect supplies, enhance strength, establish a safe zone, and grow and strengthen oneself. Chapter 1. Doomsday comes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dad, no, I'm your own daughter. No. Longting Villa, a girl in her 20s wearing white cartoon pajamas is struggling in front of the door. At this moment, I was sweating profusely and trying my best to suck on the milk, blocking the door tightly to prevent my father from rushing in. When I was just taking a nap again, I only heard my mother's cry for help outside. At the moment I opened the door and walked out, I saw my father lying on my mother's body, tearing hard with his teeth, and his whole body was stained with blood. Dad, what are you doing? This scream instantly caught the father's attention, and then he stood up on his mother's body, with bright red flesh hanging from the corner of his mouth, and launched a crazy attack on his daughter. Upon seeing this terrifying scene, I had planned to quickly close the door, but in the end, it was one step too late. One of the two wanted to rush in, while the other held down the latch tightly and blocked the door, preventing him from entering. Looking at her father's half-head already stretched in, her eyes turning red, and the corners of her mouth still dripping with blood, Li Menglan knew that something was not going well. Is this a zombie? My current situation is also very dangerous. My arms are sore and tired, and I can't hold on anymore. I'm dying. Help. Just when I thought I was going to die without a doubt, I only heard a roar coming from outside the door. Mad, go to hell with your grandson. Dong kicked the zombie in with one foot, then picked up an iron axe and struck the zombie's head. With two axes, he went down and chopped his head to pieces. Who are you? Lin Yuan. You killed my dad. Dad. Li Menglan covered her mouth and looked at Lin Yuan with a look of astonishment, both frightened and angry. Li Menglan is actually you. Is this your father? Is this your family? Take a closer look at your father. He has mutated and turned into a zombie now, you know. He can no longer distinguish anyone, even if you are his own maid, he will attack. If I didn't kill him, you would have died long ago. Have you been injured? Have you been bitten by zombies somewhere? If you were bitten, I would have killed you before mutating. Li Menglan was so scared that she trembled all over and quickly shook her head. Lin Yuan carefully observed the surroundings and arrived in the room without any abnormalities. He didn't expect that the person he saved this time was actually his classmate. Although they were classmates, their identities were completely opposite. My parents work in an ordinary factory in the city of Linhai. In order to alleviate their pressure, I work part-time to deliver takeout and earn some living expenses during holidays. On the other hand, Li Menglan's family is a class flower, surrounded by bees every day. If they can afford to live in this villa, they know that his parents must be successful people. University is a society where capable individuals form a group, relying on the advantages brought to them by their parents. Some start their own businesses and take different paths. And people like them, who have no three, basically belong to small transparency. Although the two of them are in the same class, they basically haven't said a few words. Today happened to be a 3-day holiday, and I started delivering takeout as usual. There happened to be a big order from Longting Villa, but I didn't expect something unusual to happen to the entire community just after delivering the order. Some people start biting at the sight of people, just like getting rabies. He himself was also frightened and quickly arrived at the security office, but the security guard also turned into a different person and launched an attack on Lin Yuan. Looking at the axe lying beside him, he picked up the axe and killed the mutated security guard. Later, without daring to delay, he quickly fled and prepared to find a place to hide in the villa. Passing by a villa, he saw the door open and a cry for help coming from inside. He quickly rushed in and saved the person. Who would have thought about saving an old classmate? Lin Yuan, what should we do? I'm so scared. My parents are both dead. Yes, let's call the police quickly. Li Menglan was so scared that her whole body trembled. Gulu, Gulu. Although she had already received her phone, her whole brain couldn't react. Trembling, she dialed the alarm number, but no one answered the beeping sound from across the street. Why are the police still busy on the line? Don't think about it, you've seen this situation now. It's better to beg yourself than to beg others. Be prepared for the end of the zombie outbreak. I have watched movies and TV dramas like this one many times, but I never imagined that such a thing would happen to me one day. The sound of calling my parents on the phone also came with a busy beep, indicating that my parents were probably already dead. Damn it, I have become an orphan. What should we do? What should we do? Woo woo. Pop. Lin Yuan slapped Li Menglan in the face. Mad, cry every day. Can crying solve a problem? Your parents are dead, and my parents are also dead. Are you crying, Grandpa? I was already in a chaotic mood at this moment, crying and not thinking about how to survive next. This woman will ultimately affect her swordsmanship speed in the end, or she might as well kill her. She should be able to eat a few meals even though she looks delicate and tender. What are you doing? Li Menglan retreated to the side. This is my house, please hurry and leave my house. You 2 coins, it's already the end of the world. Is your home or my home? Even you belong to me. Please shut up, otherwise I don't mind chopping you now. With a scolding from Lin Yuan, Li Menglan quickly retreated to the side, tears streaming down Do Dabin's face. What's so fierce? This is his own home, and I am the owner of it. Lazy to listen to her crying on the side, Lin Yuan went downstairs to clean up the kitchen. There were bags of rice, bags of noodles, and some vegetables and meat, all of which were their next supplies. Looking through the window at everything that happened outside, there were corpses and wandering zombies everywhere. I always enjoy part-time work, so in the face of such sudden situations, my brain can quickly react and make what I think is the most correct choice. Supplies and water are 2 important things. At the same time, urgent news also came from my phone and the nearby TV. Audience friends urgently insert a news message that an unknown virus has suddenly erupted globally, and many people have mutated. People infected with the virus and mutated have strong aggressiveness. All survivors are advised to stay at home and not leave casually. The official will not abandon anyone. Please wait quietly for the official rescue at home. Upon hearing this news, Lin Yuan furrowed his brows and felt worried about this unknown fear. The sudden global outbreak of the virus has infected countless people, and the scale of this outbreak is unknown. Moreover, I am aware of this official statement, and perhaps they are also struggling to protect themselves. This statement is only for the sake of stabilizing everyone. Forget it, take a step and see. Li Menglan, come over here. Chapter 2. Multi-Child Multi-Blessing System, Time Quiet Skill. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. With a shout from Lin Yuan, Li Menglan walked out from the side. Ever since she saw through the glass what was happening outside, especially seeing her already dead parents made her tremble uncontrollably. Now Lin Yuan is the only life-saving straw, even afraid to enter the bedroom. He just stands quietly in the kitchen, watching Lin Yuan collect supplies there. The 2 of them are still classmates, it seems that this is their only hope for survival. What's wrong, Lin Yuan? What happened? Are you a sand coin when you step on a horse, standing there like a piece of wood without coming over to help? Bring all the things in your home that can hold water, and collect supplies. Fill all bathtubs and bathtubs that can hold water with water. You have also seen this situation now. An unknown virus has erupted globally, and the end of the world has come. Zombies are everywhere, including your mother who has also been turned into a zombie. Your father has been devoured alive. You probably don't want to die early, do you? Lin Yuan, please help me. Li Menglan begged Lin Yuan with a crying tone. As a girl, when have you ever seen such a situation? Don't be fooled by the fact that before the end of the world, I was the proud daughter of heaven, actively participating in various occasions, but now that the end of the world has come, I will directly return to my original form. The so-called arrogant woman is not even as good as a screwdriver, at least one screwdriver can still take out weapons to resist. Nowadays, Lin Yuan is his only life-saving straw, but facing such a situation, I am really at a loss. With Lin Yuan's shout, Li Menglan also began to quickly start collecting water resources in the kitchen. Looking at Lin Yuan who was organizing supplies, Li Menglan whispered. Lin Yuan, just now you also saw the urgent news on TV that the end of the world has broken out. The official advised us all to hide at home and wait for the military to come and rescue us. Do we just need to hide at home and wait for official rescue? I feel like I'm praising you when it comes to sand coins. In this situation, I can't believe anyone's words, only myself can believe them. Linhai city alone has a permanent population of nearly 10 million, and there are countless cities like ours on the 20 million square kilometers of land in the entire Dragon Country. If a natural disaster occurs somewhere before the end of the day, I believe we can get a quick rescue. But now that the end of the world is approaching, do you think the official military has not been infected? Can you guarantee that we will be rescued on the first day when the military finishes handling the matter and comes to rescue us? How many people in our country, with a population of nearly 3 billion, have been infected? For all situations, we are in an unknown state, and the top priority is to save ourselves instead of foolishly waiting for death here. Of course, I hope that although it is a global crisis, it is only a small part. After solving all these small zombies, the entire social order will be restarted. Even though I am still an insignificant person, it is always better than the end of the world. Even if it's delivering takeout before the end of the world, I can still survive as a small person after graduation. But who knows if I can see the sun tomorrow when the end of the world comes. What I can do is to anticipate all the possible future situations and do things that are in my best interest. Just as Lin Yuan was quietly thinking, a mechanical voice came to my mind. Ding, the integration of the dozi duofu system has been completed. The end of the world has come, and the world has restarted. Nearly 80% of humanity worldwide has been infected with viruses, leading to an unprecedented crisis for humanity. Where will the surviving humans go? Ding, reward the host with a time quiet skill. Introduction to time quiet skills. Release the skill to achieve time and space stillness within the scope of the skill, with a time of 3 seconds, which can be upgraded later. Ding, the reward host system has a space of 10 cubic meters, which can store lifeless objects. The system space is stationary in time and can be upgraded later. Ding, reward the host with 3 immunizations against the zombie virus as the system prompted. My personal attributes page was immediately presented below. Name: Lin Yuan. Strength 105, speed 110, spirit 120, normal human power range 80.120, speed 80.120, spirit 100.130. After reviewing the introduction and information of the system, Lin Yuan stood still. He also loved reading novels in his daily life, but he never expected that such things would happen to him one day. With the blessing of the system, it seems that his chances of surviving in the apocalypse can be greatly improved. However, upon seeing the preceding sentence prompted by the system, Lin Yuan fell into contemplation. I didn't expect this apocalyptic outbreak of the zombie virus to be so terrifying. Nearly 80% of humanity around the world has been infected, which means that with nearly 16 billion people worldwide, the most surviving is only 3 billion, and the remaining 13 billion have all been infected and become zombies. And not all of the remaining 3 billion people are safe, they also have to face the invasion of zombies. If we follow this ratio, their dragon country has 3 billion people, and at most only 600 million people have survived. However, their Liaozhai city's population of over 10 million people is visibly less than 2 million, and 2 million is only a conservative estimate. The damaged population may be even greater than this. Lin Yuan, what's wrong with you? What happened? I see you're so scary for a moment. This apocalyptic outbreak is even more brutal than we imagine, with over 80% of humanity worldwide already infected. This is a protracted war, prepare to survive in the end. Ah, is the end of the world really here? No. When Li Menglan learned of the moment when the end of the world came, she felt a bit overwhelmed. She was just a little girl and had never experienced too much wind and waves. With so many zombies, wasn't this just a rhythm of seeking death? I don't want to die. Pop. Lin Yuan slapped again. These two slaps made her left and right faces much more symmetrical. Mad, shut up for me. Isn't it annoying to chatter around? If you cry a few more times, you'll bring in all the zombies. Quickly organize materials and prepare for survival in the apocalypse with their own understanding of the impending apocalypse, things like water, electricity, and communication that are closely related to people's lives will also collapse without human maintenance and inspection in a short period of time. The development and progress of human civilization are constantly promoted through electricity. Without electricity, everything will return to its original state. I know Lin Yuan. Afraid of being slapped again, Li Menglan quickly retreated to the side and began to get busy. Lin Yuan opened the system space and stored all the food as a backup. He also glanced at the time quiet skill, which requires 3 seconds of time to remain still and is enough to escape. This skill requires mental energy, and a powerful skill means it can only be used for survival. Without strong mental energy, excessive use is not allowed. In addition, I can also be immune to 3 times of zombie virus, which means I have 4 lives now. Such a rocket start, I must survive in the end. Chapter 3. Next plan, emergency call for help. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Yuan, what should we do next? Looking at the various zombies wandering outside, Li Menglan felt a bit at a loss. Finally, the two of them sorted out all the supplies in the room and looked at everything outside through the window. Her mind was blank and she didn't know what to do next. I opened my phone and called the police several times, but there was still a beeping sound on the other side of the phone. No one answered the phone, indicating that the police station had also been invaded by the end of the day. Open the contact list, and all the group chats are filled with various distress messages. It's over. There are many zombies outside. Is this the end of the world coming? Who can come and save me, please, please. I was bitten by a zombie. Am I also going to become a zombie? I'm going to die if I say goodbye to this world. In my social circle, my contact list is filled with cries of sorrow. Regardless of whether I usually contact or not, I have dialed my phone in hopes of receiving help. Some people can be contacted, but everyone is struggling to keep themselves safe, and the vast majority of people can no longer be contacted. It seems that they have become zombies. Watching the chaotic news, I simply turned off my phone. Do you believe me? Li Menglan nodded. Who can I trust even if I don't believe it in this situation now? Nowadays, the two of them belong to the same grasshopper on the same rope. To be more precise, they are themselves grasshoppers and have ropes. They have the courage to go out and kill zombies. As a man, they can fight zombies. How can they fight zombies with just their small arms and legs? I'll make a plan for the next 2 days. You don't want to go anywhere, just stay in this villa honestly. Now everything outside is in a mess, and we have no idea what exactly happened. Let the situation stabilize first before proceeding to the next step of the plan. Faced with such a sudden situation, there are too many unstable factors. Even if you have system skills, you have to observe for 2 days first. After 2 days, all the situation stabilizes, and then you can check what situation is there. In the current situation where there are zombies everywhere, he dare not go out. He believes that others also dare not go out. The primary factor for the arrival of the end of the world is to learn to endure. If you rely on your own system to go out and pretend to be forced, it is definitely a dead end. Got it, Lin Yuan. Li Menglan nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Now, the two of them are centered around Lin Yuan, and they do whatever they ask. The waiting time was ultimately agonizing. Standing upstairs and looking out from afar, the streets were filled with thick smoke and flames. Vehicles collided, and after the flames burned, there was a loud explosion. In addition, there were the zombies. Groups of zombies began to wander the streets, and some struggled to escape from the cars. As a result, the zombies quickly rushed over and devoured the survivors alive. It seems that after this group of humans became zombies, their reaction ability has greatly decreased. According to the system's prompt, if their speed is 100, then the maximum speed of this group of zombies is 50. But their advantage over humans lies in their large number, and their tireless power is endless. If an adult man can kill a zombie with a weapon, his voice will attract more zombies to come. Unless he can quickly flee, waiting for his stamina to run out will definitely be a dead end. I opened my phone and checked the map again. It seems that part-time food delivery is still the most correct way. At least half of Liaozhai city has already been visited by myself, and I can easily understand the terrain and conditions there. Just how many residential areas, commercial areas, supermarkets, and shopping malls there are in my own area, I have a rough idea in my heart. When I go out to collect materials in 2 days, this is also his innate advantage. With the afterglow of the setting sun, the sun slowly sets and the sky gradually darkens. All the undamaged street lights are turned on normally and begin to illuminate the streets. If placed in normal times, all the lights in both commercial and residential areas have already turned on. However, this time, the faraway commercial area and residential area are dark, and only a small part of them are lit up, the vast majority are dark. People hate darkness, but they have to face it. The end of the world is approaching and darkness is looming. Even though it is now summer, people have already experienced the arrival of winter ahead of time. Lin Yuan, am I hungry? Gollum, a protest came from Li Menglan's stomach, and she looked at Lin Yuan with a somewhat embarrassed expression. Mad, if you're hungry, go cook. What's the use of watching me? Is lousy rice. Me, but I don't know how to cook. My mom usually cooks, and I'm only responsible for eating. At school, we all go to the cafeteria without having to make it ourselves. Lin Yuan, aren't you delivering takeout? You should be able to cook, why don't you cook tonight? Li Menglan looked pitifully at Lin Yuan. I said, Li Menglan, am I your father or mother? You don't know how to cook yourself and still have me cook for you. Although I used to run takeout, I wasn't cooking for you either. When the end of the world comes, do you have enough food and clothing to eat on your own, and I owe you when I deliver takeout? There is a bag of bread that you like to eat or not. Roll it off. Opening the system space, I took out a bag of bread trees and threw it over. Remember to close the door when you go out, I should rest now. Lying on this soft and fluffy bed is much more comfortable than one's own, soft and elastic, with a special fragrance. But are you sleeping in my room? Li Menglan said somewhat dejectedly. Get lost, if you dare say one more word, I'll kill you now. Women are really troublesome. If it weren't for being a bit tired today and wanting to rest early, I wouldn't mind getting rid of her now. You are a boy and I am a girl, can't you be gentle with me? And we are all old classmates, can we not be so ruthless? The moment I walked out of the room with bread and closed the door, I stomped my foot hard. It was really infuriating. Lin Yuan, you really went too far. He slapped me twice in the face and even occupied my room. Damn it. The thoughts in my heart flashed by, and when I heard the sound of zombies outside, I didn't dare to delay. I quickly arrived at the next room and locked the door, slipping into the bed and trembling alone. Sleeping in the big bed that night was particularly comfortable for me, until the alarm clock rang the next morning. I stretched lazily, put on my clothes, and went to the window to observe the situation outside again. Everything outside was within my expectations, but it seemed to be beyond my expectations. In Chapter 4, I said to Li, "You don't want to die now, do you?" You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Looking at everything in front of me, everything was actually within my expectations, and there were corpses everywhere. Some cars on the street have been burning all night and turned into black frames. There are also countless storefront houses, and residential buildings are burning brightly. If the sound of firefighter cars had been heard long before the end of the day, but now only the towering flames are telling the current state of the end. In the blazing house, there were also some uninfected survivors who crawled out due to the flames. However, when they crawled out, they were about to face endless zombies. Ah, don't help me. Help me. However, no matter how much it howled, it only shouted a few times before being knocked down and devoured alive by zombies. Some people were lucky enough to sprint and hide quickly, panting heavily, but not sure where the future path would be. One night, it seemed that the whole world had become quiet, without the sound of cars honking or the laughter and joy of humanity in the past. Some were only zombies wandering non-stop, looking downstairs through the window. There were many zombies wandering aimlessly in the residential area, and suddenly a sound came from somewhere. All the zombies quickly rushed towards them along the sound. I don't know what the situation is with these zombies. Are they judging direction through visual or auditory means? Also, does this zombie have a corresponding way of restraining itself? Just like the zombie movies I saw in movies, black dog blood, donkey hooves, big roosters, and glutinous rice sets. People are often full of fear of unknown situations. Troops for the enemy, earth for floods. It seems that this next is also a huge challenge for them. Picking up the axe in my hand, it's time to prepare to go out and explore. Lin Yuan, Lin Yuan. Are you there? Are you there? The door opened and I saw Li Menglan standing at the door. At this moment, Tian's Hegio's daughter didn't even look like a goddess. My whole hair was messy, with 2 big black circles under my eyes. I didn't fall asleep all night, and even the slightest wind or grass outside scared me shivering. Finally, I managed to endure until the day, when my stomach began to moan. Lin Yuan, I'm hungry. Can you give me some more food? A piece of bread was thrown over, and Li Menglan wolfed it down. After finishing the bread, she looked up at Lin Yuan. Although these foods belonged to them before the apocalypse, now after the apocalypse, they have big fists and take all the food for themselves. They can only wag their tails like a dog, praying that others can give them some food. The food at home is limited, so I'm going out to collect supplies and investigate the situation. Ah, are you going out? Li Menglan looked at her with a surprised expression on her face. If there were all zombies outside, it would be like a moth to the fire. Now Lin Yuan is the only hope he can survive. What if he encounters danger if he goes out? Or what should he do if he goes out and doesn't come back? That's right, I'm going out. It's the second day of the apocalypse. Although it's apocalypse, make plans and we can seize the opportunity to have a lot of food to survive. Remember what I said, seal all the windows, and no one is allowed to open the door except for you when I come back, not to mention under the apocalypse, even before the apocalypse, the most unbelievable thing is the human heart. If there are legal constraints that can constrain everyone before the end of the world, making them want to do bad things, they must also consider whether they will violate the law and be punished by the law. After the apocalypse, legal and moral values have long collapsed, and everything has turned into smoke. Perhaps someone who jokingly calls you a brother can even stab you in the back at critical moments. The first rule of survival in the apocalypse is to learn to persevere, and the second rule of survival in the apocalypse is not to believe that anyone can never be a Virgin Mary. However, there are still some things that need to be resolved before I leave. Lin Yuan looked up and down carefully at Li Menglan, who was truly a goddess of class flowers. Why are there so many bees around her? This is a perfect way to satisfy all men's most beautiful fantasies, especially the cute pajamas she is wearing. Looking at Lin Yuan's gaze, Li Menglan hesitated for a moment and quickly took a few steps back, feeling a bit scared. Lin Yuan, what are you doing? I said, Li, you are my college classmate and also our class monitor. I don't think you want to die now, do you? Me, you. Everyone is a 1,000-year-old fox. There is no need to play Liaozhai. You should know what it means to be an adult. I'm not your father or mother. There's no need to help you, and of course, I won't force you. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. I know, Lin Yuan. As the saying goes, people have to bow their heads under the eaves. Li Menglan understands this truth even better. If she chooses to refuse, perhaps Lin Yuan will not throw herself out to feed the zombies. However, if someone leaves their house and never comes back, having no food to wait for their fate is also a dead end. Instead of that, the only thing that can be negotiated as a condition is this one thing. She is also gambling that Lin is far from being ungrateful. She closed her eyes and walked step by step into the room. An hour later, Lin Yuan stood up and left, with 2 pieces of bread and a glass of breakfast milk by his bed. He struggled to stand up and watched Lin Yuan leave, hoping that he would be safe and sound. Looking at the prompt from the system in front of me, I gained 50 points of free attributes. It turns out that this is how my system is used. 20 attributes added to strength, 30 attributes added to spirit. Open the system to check your current information. Name: Lin Yuan. Power: 125 speed, 110 spirit, 150. After adding strength and spirit, I can feel that I have gained a lot of strength on my body. If I could lift a weight of 100 pounds before, then now I can easily handle a weight of 150 pounds. The current situation is that strength and spirit are very important to oneself. Strength allows oneself to carry stronger weapons to kill zombies, while spiritual power allows oneself to use stronger skills. Time is still, and with a super strong force, I am coming to the end. Looking through the cat's eye at the hall outside, there was nothing wrong. Holding an axe in hand, he quickly walked out and arrived at the unit door. Through the glass, he could see the wandering zombies outside. All the zombies were wandering aimlessly, with a clang coming from somewhere, startling the group of zombies outside and rushing towards the direction of the sound. Glancing left and right, there were no more zombies outside. Opening the unit door, Lin Yuan quickly rushed out. Chapter 5. Going to collect materials, Dangerous Doomsday. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Watching the zombies leaving outside the unit door, Lin Yuan carefully observed again, then quietly opened the unit door and quickly rushed out. The target direction is clear, directly pointing to a supermarket about 300 to 400 meters away from here. Holding an axe, he ran quickly. Thanks to his usual delivery of food, this terrain was so precious that even as he ran quickly, his voice attracted the surrounding zombies. The zombies heard this sound and quickly launched an attack in the direction of Lin Yuan. Damn it, it has attracted so many zombies again. You all go ahead and die. Holding an axe, he directly split the head of the zombie in front of him in half, causing blood to flow all over the ground. The zombie lay on the side and struggled twice before finally dying. The idea flashed in their minds, and it seemed that these zombie brains were their fatal weakness. As long as their brains were shattered, they would lose their combat power and die. Killed several zombies and quickly ran on their heads, until the next second when the zombies surrounded, Lin Yuan arrived at the entrance of the supermarket, pushed open the door, and quickly crawled in. Then he closed the supermarket door, panting heavily. Ah. Just as I was about to turn around, a few zombies hiding in the supermarket launched an attack as they watched the humans break in. Time is stationary. Just when the zombie was about 4 or 5 meters away from Lin Yuan directly activated his skill and remained stationary within the skill range. Everything came to a stop, including the zombie touching the nearby cabinet, and the scattered things on the cabinet hung still in the air without falling. Although the skill was only 3 seconds long, it was enough to quickly put oneself in a defensive state. After 3 seconds, the zombie quickly arrived and was all killed by Lin Yuan's axe. Solved several zombies in the supermarket, and this time their whole bodies felt as if they had been emptied. Sitting on a nearby chair, they gasped for breath again. It's too dangerous, it's really too dangerous. Who would have thought of just entering the supermarket and encountering zombies inside? This is a safe situation where there are tigers and wolves in front of them. If you make a mistake, you may be attacked by both tigers and wolves. If you don't have the skills, it is very likely that you will be handed over to the supermarket on the second day of the apocalypse. Even those who possess skills like myself feel a sense of fear, let alone those ordinary humans. I can imagine how desperate this group of people is currently. As for those who care, surviving on their own is the most important thing. Looking at the supermarket, although it is just a simple small supermarket in the residential area, although the Sparrow is small and dirty, everything inside is dazzling. At the checkout counter, a woman who has been bitten by zombies and is now in front of her. Isn't this the female salesperson who came to this community to deliver takeout a few days ago and passed by this store selling things? Although the two of them only had a brief conversation, I didn't expect that after the end of the world, we were separated by heaven and earth, and ultimately couldn't withstand the invasion of the end of the world. Arriving at the warehouse in the back and looking at various daily necessities such as rice, noodles, grains, and oil in front of him, Lin Yuan waved his hand and placed all the supplies in his own system space. Although his system space was limited, he could not fill all the rice, noodles, grains, and oil in front of him. The remaining part was waiting for the next time to be loaded. In addition, it is to put all the sugar products in one's own space in the entire supermarket. Sugar was a hard currency during the war, and it is not polite to say that this thing is equivalent to gold, and sometimes even more important than gold. It can supplement the energy consumed by the human body and is also an important strategic material. Open your backpack and stuff all the other supplies into it until your backpack is fully packed. Turn your head and take a look at most of the remaining supplies in the supermarket. The items are left here for now, with a large number of zombies watching around. You are not worried about other humans coming during this time period. People can persist for at least 5.7 days in a state of hunger, which means that even if there is no food storage in the family, unless they are starving to death, they may risk their lives to come out and search for food. Therefore, these 5.7 days are their own gap period, allowing them to collect more supplies. Arriving at the entrance of the supermarket, I carefully observed again and saw many zombies constantly wandering outside. Just now, a group of zombies were chasing after me. When I saw myself sneaking into the supermarket and closing the door, I didn't continue to attack myself. This is different from what I know of zombies. Shouldn't we continue to attack the doors and windows? It seems that they belong to the infected junior zombies, only wandering around and launching attacks when they see humans. If humans hide, they will not continue to chase. If one's own expectations are not bad, this group of zombies should also continue to evolve, thereby strengthening their own strength. Besides, why do you own a system? So what about others? Will there also be others who own the system? P.S. Only the protagonist owns the system. This is just his guess. If we follow our own speculation, zombies are constantly evolving and improving their strength. Without thermal weapons, ordinary humans would find it difficult to survive. And he has his own system, which can further enhance his strength through the system. Including the skills he currently possesses, he has gained a glimpse of the end of the iceberg. Of course, these are just his current speculations. To gain a specific understanding of these things, he needs to reach a time point before making a judgment. After a moment of contemplation, looking at the zombies outside the supermarket, apart from a few scattered ones walking non-stop, the others were no longer attracted by any sound and left the place. Seizing the opportunity, Lin Yuan stared outside intently. As he watched the zombie turn around, he pushed open the supermarket door and quickly rushed out. Release skill, time is stationary. Within the scope of the skill, time and space are completely suspended, and for only a brief 3 seconds, I am not easily addicted to fighting, quickly crossing through zombies and running towards home. 3 seconds passed by in a flash, and the time still skill ended. Everything was restored to its original state. The recovered zombie looked up and watched as the fleeing humans quickly chased after it, launching an attack. Surrounded by zombies waving their teeth and claws, they attacked Lin Yuan. You zombies, all go to hell. Faced with the approaching zombies, Lin Yuan took out his axe and slashed fiercely, directly cutting through a path of blood. Time is stationary. Release the skill, and the zombie who wants to launch an attack on it stops attacking again, giving themselves a chance to catch their breath and quickly flee. In just 300 to 400 meters, I had already unleashed the power of the wilderness. A few brisk steps arrived at the unit door and quickly crawled in, closed the unit door, and leaned against the wall, panting heavily. Mad, if it weren't for having his own system and being familiar with the terrain, this wave could have been handed over to the outside world and eventually become the food for zombies. Fortunately, not only did he harvest a large amount of supplies, but he also successfully escaped back. At this moment, I suddenly remembered a video I saw online earlier, where a mountain racer participated in a race and won first place, breaking all records. In daily training, his actual performance was only average, which aroused people's suspicion. Finally, after monitoring, it was discovered that during the race, he suddenly encountered a brown bear, which chased him. In dangerous situations, adrenaline would be full, allowing him to unleash infinite potential. It is estimated that he could also break the world record by running these 400 to 500 meters. Seeing the zombies outside no longer chasing, Lin Yuan quietly rushed towards the direction of the house on one side. Chapter 6. Do you call me cruel? I said you don't understand the end of the world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Grandpa Wang, really not needed, really not needed. Thank you so much, thank you so much. I didn't expect things to turn out like this when I asked you to hold it. Your parents are good people, and they have also helped us many times when we needed help before. Take these things and come to us if they are not enough after you finish eating them. You know, just the old couple of us usually go dancing square dancing and practicing Tai Chi, and we just like to go to the supermarket to buy groceries. The refrigerator at home can't even be opened. Who knew the world had suddenly turned into this? Sigh. I have been working for a lifetime and am nearing retirement. Originally, I wanted to quietly enjoy life and take care of my grandchildren for my children. However, now my child's phone number is also unreachable, the police number is also unreachable, and the kindergarten is also unreachable. It seems that everything is isolated from the world. Looking out the window, why did a well-behaved person become like this? I heard the news from the official side again, which made my heart ache. Until this morning, I wanted to come to the next door and inquire about what exactly happened. Who knew that the girl who opened the door was his little Li, and the two of them had also become that monster. Now, there is only one girl left in this family. Watching her eat the leftover bread, the empty kitchen returned home and took out a portion of the food to bring over, with a few words of comfort beside her. We must live on, the deceased is already dead, we must be strong and wait for the official rescue. Thank you, Grandma Wang. As the saying goes, distant relatives are better than close neighbors. Looking at the food, vegetables, and other things in front of us, in this situation, everyone knows the value of resources. An additional supply is equivalent to an additional possibility of survival. Grandpa Wang and his team have given themselves another part of their hope for survival. Although they are just neighbors, they only greet each other when they meet. Who would have thought they would be so kind at this critical moment? Moved my heart deeply. Damn it, there's someone at home. Through the door, I heard a strange voice inside the room. Since the attribute was added to the spiritual power, I feel that the ability of these facial features has also become stronger, and I can perceive situations that I previously did not perceive. This foolish woman is simply foolish. When she left, she told him not to open the door for anyone except herself. Why doesn't she listen to her? Lin Yuan clenched his axe and gently opened the door, ready to release his skills and directly kill any enemies he might attack. At the moment when she opened the door, Li Menglan quickly rushed over. The door opened and Lin Yuan, covered in blood, appeared in front of her. Ah, Lin Yuan, are you injured? It's all zombie blood and I'm not injured. Looking into the room, I saw an elderly man sitting on the sofa, with a gentle and refined feeling that he had no combat power pop. With a slap, Lin Yuan slapped Li Menglan heavily on the face, revealing 5 clear palm prints to the naked eye. Lin Yuan, why are you hitting me again? Mad, before leaving, what did I tell you? No one can open the door except me. You're good, why are there other people in the room? This is my neighbor next door, Grandpa Wang. They came to deliver supplies to us. Young man, are you the classmate Menglan mentioned? How could you hit a girl so casually? Besides, I remember this isn't your home either, right? Sending supplies, old man, do you mean that your family still has a lot of supplies? Okay, since that's the case, then you just have to die obediently, young man, you. Time is stationary. Unleashing his skills, Lin Yuan stood still in time and space. He took a big step forward, drew his axe, and chopped down the old man in front of him, directly smashing his head. After 3 seconds, the old man in front of him collapsed to the side, convulsing twice and taking no breath. Ah, Lin Yuan, you killed me. You killed me. You are a devil, you are a devil. The prince just came to deliver supplies to us. He is a good person. Why did you kill him? Lin Yuan snorted coldly. Good person, you are truly foolish and foolish. He has a kind heart, and that's because they have abundant resources, so they are good people. They believe that their supplies can withstand the official rescue efforts. If they wait until their supplies are depleted and the authorities do not come to rescue them, their supplies are insufficient and they are on the brink of death. Even a weak woman like you who has no power to bind a chicken will become a target of death. What I did today was just to solve the future threat in advance. Did you just say they still have a lot of supplies? Take me over. What are you doing? What are you doing? Of course, you're killing them and sweeping away their supplies. Choose one from two, either they die today or you die today. Lin Yuan, why are you pushing me so hard? I am here to help you adapt to the survival of the apocalypse as soon as possible, so as not to count money for others when you die. Moreover, I killed this person, and it has nothing to do with you this. Arriving next door, I rang the doorbell and saw that the door of the girl's room was opened. Lin Yuan rushed in with a brisk step, and Li Menglan closed her eyes. She also became the indirect culprit. Grandpa and Grandma Wang are really sorry. Sweeping away all the supplies, occupying their house with their tables, ladles, and bowls, eating their food. This lunch was particularly sweet today. This food is really delicious. Taking out various supplies from the backpack and placing them aside, Li Menglan screamed when she saw the whole room filled with rice, flour, grains, and oil. Ah, Lin Yuan, these are all things you collected. How did you do it? The rice, flour, grains, oil, and various daily necessities in half a room seemed to have appeared out of thin air like a magic trick, which is not in line with scientific evidence. Uncertain, he rubbed his eyes again, walked forward to touch the rice, flour, and oil, and then pinched himself fiercely, afraid that he was dreaming. Sigh, this is not a dream, this is true. With so many resources, why worry about not being able to live? Turning her head again to look at Lin Yuan, Li Menglan only felt a burning pain in her face. Lin Yuan, I'm sorry, I blamed you wrongly. Even if she had no more life experience, she could still imagine such a thing. He knew the truth that Pifu was innocent and guilty. She was just a weak woman, and she couldn't hold on to so many life necessities alone. Who knows what others think when people are separated by their stomachs? Even those who trust them the most will have evil thoughts when they see so many supplies when they are no longer full. This is the end of the world, the naked reality. Lin Yuan, what should we do with our next plan? Chapter 7. Want to imitate. Brother is just a legend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After finishing lunch, the two of them reorganized the room full of supplies and placed them all in the storage room on the third floor. After finishing everything, Li Menglan looked up at Lin Yuan and said, Lin Yuan, with so many supplies, if the two of us were to be frugal, we would have enough stock for at least a year. Especially these firewood, rice, oil, and salt have a shelf life of 1.2 years, even if the taste changes after the shelf life, they will not cause any harm to the human body. In this way, there is no need to risk one's life to continue collecting. Suddenly remembered a joke online. Some experts said that eating instant noodles regularly is not conducive to good health. A netizen replied that I have already eaten instant noodles and still care about my health. Now that the end of the world comes, having food to eat would be great. These supplies are still not enough, I still need to go out and continue collecting supplies. Ah, still going out to collect supplies. But just as she looked at Lin Yuan with blood all over her body, she knew that the situation outside must be very dangerous. I have to take advantage of the fact that everyone still has some food reserves in their homes and they won't rush out to collect supplies, so I have to go out and collect more supplies. Do you think this group of survivors will sit idly by when all the supplies in their homes are depleted? When we go out to collect supplies, we will not only face zombies, but also other survivors. In this apocalyptic situation, humans are even more terrifying than zombies. For the zombies at this moment, they are just a bunch of brainless things. As long as they can run fast and hide, even the zombies have seen you enter the house. As long as they don't see any trace of humans, they will choose to stop attacking. They can be chopped down directly, and if they cannot be chopped down quickly, they can escape safely. On the other hand, looking at these survivors, you have no idea what kind of conspiracy and trickery they are playing in their minds, even though their hearts are separated. Remember, there are only two things in this world that cannot be viewed directly. The sun and the human heart. Especially now is still the end of the world. I can't believe it before the end of the world, and it's even more so after the end of the world. Lin Yuan, then you must pay attention to safety. Don't worry, I will pay attention to safety, and you must remember what I said. No one is allowed to open the door except me. This time, Li Menglan nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. I know these truths, especially when there are so many supplies in her room. Unless I want to seek death, I absolutely cannot hold any good intentions in my heart. Pack up your luggage and empty all the system space. Lin Yuan stands up again and leaves. Arriving outside the unit, I glanced at the zombies outside. After collecting them this morning, I became familiar with their weaknesses and re-planned the route. I quickly rushed out while the zombies were not paying attention. Time is stationary. After experiencing what happened in the morning, my methods this time appeared even more vicious. Intercepting several zombies in front of him with one axe, they all burst their heads and took a straight path towards the supermarket. I'll go. Someone went out to collect supplies again. This person's strength is so strong and perverted. When killing zombies, he doesn't drag his feet. I remember this person this morning. It seemed like they went to the supermarket in our community and collected a large bag of things. It must be carrying supplies in that backpack today. A high-rise residential building located next to the villa, where survivors saw through the window what was happening downstairs. Some were moved and some were shocked, while others secretly thought of zombies biting him to death. Since the end of the world, other survivors in the entire community have also fallen into panic. Everyone seems to have done the same thing, calling the police first for help. Just the sound of busy lines coming from the other side of the phone, and then they dialed all kinds of phones they could think of, but the same sound still came from the other side of the phone. Then I opened my phone's contact list, and regardless of whether he usually contacts or not, I called for help from everyone I could. Unfortunately, everyone's condition is like this. Everyone is in a state of disorder and seeking medical treatment, and some people may not even be as good as them. So I stayed quietly at home and saw the news coming from the TV and phone on the top. The official team was conducting an emergency mobilization, and everyone was paying attention to their safety. Let's wait for the official rescue. While waiting for rescue, someone also watched the situation outside through the window. There are zombies everywhere, and just thinking about this scene makes my scalp tingle. The end of the world has arrived, leaving people unsure of the future. Until this morning, the appearance of a young man broke everyone's current situation. I don't know where the small fire appeared, but with an axe in hand, it slashed at the zombies all the way, quickly running and disappearing from everyone's sight. When they reappeared, they had already received a whole backpack of supplies. This person's strength is so strong. Someone quickly picked up their phone and took a photo and shared it in the group. Help, help, who is this great god and why is his strength so strong? Is this young man going out to collect supplies? When killing zombies, he is not afraid at all. If you can see it, can you tell us about the experience of killing zombies? Ding dong, ding dong. Open your phone and watch the various messages posted in the homeowner group. Open the photos posted by other homeowners and take a closer look. Isn't this Lin Yuan? Below are also attached the contact information of this great deity, hoping that the deity can impart some experience. They also want to collect some materials and hope to survive in the apocalypse. Seeing the news above, if it had been an hour or two ago, facing such a situation, I might not hesitate to write my contact information into the group and tell everyone. Adhering to the idea of helping others, I also hope to be able to help everyone. But this time, Li Menglan did not do so. Instead, she turned off her phone and put it aside. The arrival of the end of the world has gradually transformed my thoughts over the past 2 days. Did anyone team up to collect supplies together? My family's supplies can only withstand a maximum of 2.3 days. Have you gone out together to collect supplies and keep in touch? Priority should be given to those in the same building. When most people habitually order takeout at home, cooking becomes a luxury, and there is only less food stored at home than imagined. Some people were still considering how to survive in the future, but Lin Yuan's appearance brought the possibility of survival to everyone. The saying goes, it's better to seek oneself than to seek others. Rush out to kill zombies and collect supplies. Lin Yuan himself did not expect that his actions would attract everyone's attention. Of course, I don't think so. I want to imitate you freely, but you have to do well. If you imitate, you may pay a price of your life. After passing through countless zombies, I quickly arrived at the supermarket and quickly crawled in to close the door, carefully examining it. Looking at the few secret codes I placed before leaving today, these codes were not touched by anyone. It seemed like what I had imagined. On the second day of the apocalypse, all the household supplies were relatively abundant and were waiting quietly. Before the supplies were completely depleted, no one dared to rashly go out. After some thought, I went to the warehouse, opened the system, and placed a large amount of daily necessities in the system space, placing the marks properly, pushing open the supermarket door and rushing out. Chapter 8. The flower of the music academy, also belonging to this community. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Rushed out of the supermarket gate, slashed at the zombies all the way, and quickly headed towards home. Along the way. Wow, brothers and sisters, look at that great deity coming out again. His backpack is bulging and he has collected a lot of supplies. Seeing so much material collected by others gave other survivors hope for survival. If all these things are instant noodles, it can last for at least 2.3 weeks to save money. If his backpack contains compressed biscuits, these 2 large bags are not a problem for a month. Some people envy, while others are very jealous. I envy their little brother for his strong strength and courage. He has collected so many materials. Feeling jealous, he secretly thought to himself, why didn't he die? I hope he collected so many supplies, was knocked down by zombies on the way home, and finally devoured alive, so as to relieve his anger. The ugly thoughts of people under the apocalypse are fully displayed. Because they don't have umbrellas to get soaked in the rain, they also hope to destroy someone else's umbrella. Where exactly is this little brother and where has he gone? Until someone revealed in the group that the little brother had gone to the villa area, he should have lived in the villa area. Why is the gap between people so big? Ding dong ding dong. Liaozhai picked up her phone and looked at the message above, a distress signal from her good friend Xiaoqi. Are you all right now, sisters? Are you at home? I'm so scared. After what happened yesterday, it scared me so much that I kept hiding at home and didn't dare to move around. How are you doing now? What's going on in this world? What's going on? As her good college friends, the 2 of them are still from the same community. Thinking of what Lin Yuan said, Liaozhai hesitated for a moment and still spoke about the matter. Now it's the end of the world, and my parents have turned into zombies. Fortunately, I met a classmate who is now alone. Wow, sisters envies you so much. There is another classmate who can accompany you, not like me alone. A look of grievance. Is he a boy or a girl? His name is Lin Yuan and he is a boy. Boy, is it your boyfriend? I really envy having a boyfriend now. At least when the end of the world comes, I can have someone by my side. Not like herself, she was scared out of her wits when the end of the world came. I was so scared that I didn't know what to do. I shivered and hid all night until the next day when I remembered to contact my parents. Unfortunately, my parents also lost contact, and seeing the zombies wandering outside, I felt a deep sense of powerlessness and frustration. All the people who could be contacted were contacted once, until they contacted their friends in the same community. They saw the news that their good sisters was safe, and a boy was there to protect her, so Xiaoqi saw the hope of survival. Her own position is only about 300 meters away from her good sisters, but it's a pity that the distance of 200 or 300 meters is blocked by zombies and becomes a gap that she cannot cross. I want my sisters' boyfriend to come over and save me, but I can't say it for a long time. If it's a matter of ordinary things, such as repairing the computer and changing the faucet, it's just a matter of talking to my sisters about letting her boyfriend come over. It's just a matter of a few steps, without any impact. But now that the end is coming, I'm too timid to go out for fear of being eaten alive by zombies, but I let my sisters' boyfriend come to kill me. Isn't it a bit unorthodox? The paragraph I just prepared to call for help was deleted by myself. At this moment, my heart is very conflicted. I want to live, but I don't want others to come and die. As if I had seen Xiaoqi's careful thoughts, a message came from her phone. Wait at home and don't move around. I'll tell Lin Yuan about your situation, maybe he will come over and save you. Oh, really, sisters, thank you so much. There was help, there was help. At this moment, Xiaoqi lay in bed and screamed loudly, her excited pajama buttons all bursting. The handsome guy is coming to save himself, but he can't be in this state. He needs to wash up and put on some simple makeup first. He is already a beautiful school flower level character, but he only painted some light makeup. It's unlikely that other men will be able to walk. I put on 2 new clothes and started waiting quietly in the room. Go to hell. Lin Yuan fiercely chopped down the zombies all the way, once again fighting to create a path of blood, and all the way to his own house. He crawled into the house and closed the unit door until the figures disappeared and the zombies disappeared before stopping the attack. At this moment, he sat panting on the side, mainly because his strength was still too weak. If I could add some more attributes and significantly improve my 3D attributes, I would not become so embarrassed. However, fortunately, this is the second day of the apocalypse, and compared to other survivors, I am already ahead of others by a large margin. Opening the door, Lin Yuan walked in. Lin Yuan, you're back. I'll go and give you hot water. Take a shower quickly. At this moment, Lin Yuan's whole body was dirty, as if he had flipped through countless pieces of garbage in the garbage heap to become this way. However, Li Menglan knew in her heart that such a man was the good man, and that such a man could only give her endless sense of security in the end. Upon seeing that countless zombies had been slain again, the backpack that had been harvested so much must have had a lot of delicious food, and I had my own taste buds. Li Menglan simply tidied up and sat in front of the sofa, cutting the fruits well and putting them aside. Lin Yuan, look at this mobile message. It seems that someone has taken a picture of you and is inquiring about your information everywhere. Taking the phone and seeing various messages posted in their homeowner group, Lin Yuan sneered. Remember, their lives and deaths have nothing to do with me, but you did a great job this time, at least not overflowing with sympathy to speak out about my affairs. Li Menglan rolled her eyes and thought of herself as someone. Before, she had just not changed her mind, but now she had already figured it out. She had to hold on to Lin Yuan's thigh tightly, otherwise her fate would definitely be a dead end. Do what others ask you to do, listen well, and survive well. By the way, Lin Yuan, I have one more thing I don't know. Should I tell you? Just say what you want. Then I said you can't hit me. Lin Yuan. My image is just hitting women casually. This is our community, and I have a good friend. Chapter 9. Tell her about the rules here. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. When Li Menglan told the reason, this sister's named Xiaoqi was also a student of the Conservatory of Music in Linhai University. Although the two people are not in the same major, they were familiar with each other because they were in the same club before. It wasn't until later that they found out that they were still in the same community, sharing common interests, and eventually became good friends. Until today, I got help from my sisters, and I told Lin Yuan about it. Xiaoqi. The Conservatory of Music is one of the 7 school flowers of our Linhai University. Ah, Lin Yuan, do you also know my best friend? Lin Yuan, although my family is poor, I am not foolish. I usually brush campus posts and discuss school beauties with my roommates. Although these beauties are unattainable to my group of people, it doesn't prevent them from fantasizing about them, does it? Linhai University has 7 majors, including Business Administration, School of Music, School of Medicine, Preschool Education, School of Dance, School of Fine Arts, and School of Computer Science. Each college has its own department flower, and the department flower of each department is also the school flower. Isn't Xiaoqi from the Conservatory of Music? And the flower of our computer college is called Su Yun. Do you think I really don't know? I studied computer science back then because the tuition fee for this major was the lowest, and the future employment prospects were good. After graduation, I could find a job. Just now, I am unemployed before I have a job because the end has come. Ah. Li Menglan smiled awkwardly. I thought you only knew how to deliver food every day, work part-time to earn money, and don't pay attention to anything else. Hee hee, I really didn't expect that when Chow Chow arrives, it seems that this person must be saved by themselves. When I was going out to collect supplies today, I also thought about this issue. I need to rescue more survivors to improve my strength. My three-dimensional attributes need to be constantly strengthened, and my skills need to be constantly improved. Saving other survivors is also a crucial part of improving my strength. Lin Yuan, what are you talking about? Seeing Lin Yuan muttering softly on the side, Li Menglan asked. It's okay, I was wondering if this is not your best friend. Since everyone is from the same community, I will rescue him so that you can have a companion. When I went out to collect supplies, the two of you hid in the house and were not alone. Tell me which building she is in, I'll go over right away, thank you, Lin Yuan. I looked at the distance between the building numbers and set the route, then walked out again holding a weapon. Sisters, get ready at home. Lin Yuan went to save you. Ah, really? Thank you so much. After tidying up her face and sitting quietly by the bed, Xiaoqi couldn't wait for someone to come and rescue her, but she didn't know what kind of handsome guy he was able to catch the eye of her best friend. You should be very handsome, right? Narrator. It's already the end of the world now. Are you women still in the Appearance Association? Don't you still want to save your life and play there? Will someone rush over in a car for a moment, and a Hummer will stop directly in front of the villa door? In the driver's seat, a handsome young man will walk out and say, Princess, please get in the car, after seeing him. Oh my, the more I think about these things, the more my face turns red. Damn it, what's going on in my mind? Lin Yuan said that he didn't know that driving all the way is the most convenient way. But driving is also the easiest way to be surrounded by zombies. If you are surrounded by zombies and stuck in a car, even if you have the time stationary skill, do you think you can break through in 3 seconds? At that time, this car will become a mobile coffin and will naturally be used when needed, but it is not suitable for the current situation. Come along with you, go to hell. Lin Yuan swung his axe and ran towards the direction of the target residence. When she heard someone come to save her, Xiaoqi also prepared to open the unit door and waited quietly inside. Soon, she arrived at the target residence and pushed open the unit door, quickly drilling in and knocking on the door. Wow, it's so fast. Here comes the handsome guy. When he opened the door, the handsome man did not see it. Instead, a man holding an axe and covered in blood appeared in front of him. Ah, ghosts. It's completely out of place with my own imagination. The gentleman who said it's good, but the white prince who said it's good, is actually full of a strong smell of blood, and smelling this smell makes me feel nauseous. Pop. Lin Yuan slapped Xiaoqi directly on her face, and a blood fingerprint appeared clearly on her already delicate makeup. Mad, what are you shouting so loudly and blindly? What should you do to attract the zombies? Are you Xiaoqi? The school flower of the School of Music at Linhai University is quite beautiful. Is there any other supplies in the room? If there are, please tidy up. If not, come with me, are you Lin Yuan? Did Li Menglan ask you to come over? Nonsense, if you weren't his sisters, you thought I came to save you. Also, hurry up and take off your high heels and replace them with sneakers or canvas shoes. Also, your dress, hurry up and replace it with jeans. Do you think this is for this summer costume party or trip? Wearing high heels and a skirt, is this afraid of running too slowly for zombies to catch? I know, I'll go prepare now. While Xiaoqi was going to the bedroom to change clothes, Lin Yuan walked into the room and began a search. The whole house was quite large, but the key was that it was empty and there was nothing useful. The kitchen was even more so. The huge refrigerator only had a few cucumbers, a few tomatoes, and a few apples. Don't you wealthy people even eat? Think about your own refrigerator at home. Although it is small, the contents inside are packed tightly, forming a sharp contrast with their refrigerator kitchen. Seeing Lin Yuan walking out of the kitchen, Xiaoqi rubbed her face and muttered softly, "Isn't it that I usually order takeout or go out to eat when I don't like cooking? Isn't eating an apple at night or in the morning just for weight loss? Wearing a new pair of jeans and canvas shoes, the two of them followed Lin Yuan to the unit door and watched as the zombie Xiaoqi's legs involuntarily began to tremble outside. Lin Yuan, I'm afraid. Even if you're afraid, you have to run. Grab my hand and follow closely, otherwise you'll definitely die. Gollum, Gollum. Kill. Time is still, why are you still staring? Why don't you hurry up and run? Time is stationary. Go to hell. While grabbing Xiaoqi's arm and releasing his skills, he was chopping at the zombie in front of him. At a distance of 200 to 300 meters, the two of them ran a marathon until they returned to their own room. Lin Yuan threw the axe aside and collapsed on the sofa, panting heavily. Releasing skills requires a significant amount of mental energy, and it is obvious that the initial mental energy consumption was a bit excessive. It feels like saving people is even more difficult than collecting materials. Sisters, sisters. At this moment, Xiaoqi's face turned pale, and she had not yet reacted on the way she had just fled. Her whole body was motionless, and this stress response only improved when she saw Li Menglan. That's why when someone encounters danger, their brain actually starts to operate rapidly. As long as they quickly react and escape, they can be safe. However, when a person's body experiences a stress response, they are like a wooden block standing on the side but unable to react. Sisters, I finally see you. I'm so scared. Woo 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 woo. Well, seeing that you are safe and sound makes me feel at ease. We have sufficient supplies here, enough for the three of us to survive. Hey, why is your face swollen and there are 5 palm prints left? Ah, I accidentally fell. It seems that my good friend also suffered from Lin Yuan's cruel hands. I don't know why he was slapped hard in the face. Thank you, Lin Yuan. If you're grateful, don't say anything. Since you've come here to enjoy my protection, you also have to eat the materials I've collected at the risk of risking your life. Tell her about the rules here. What are the rules? Xiaoqi looked at Li Menglan with a puzzled expression, not understanding what Lin Yuan meant by these words. Sisters, actually. Until Li Menglan finished telling the story, Xiaoqi's face turned red. As adults, we all understand these principles. Let's ask how there is a good thing that pie falls in the sky. All of them fall into traps, just sisters. Isn't this your boyfriend? Chapter 10. All foxes from 1,000 years old, there's no need to play Liaozhai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After all, this is my sister's boyfriend. If I do this, isn't it a bit out of the ordinary? Although it is now the end of the world, as a powerless woman, I'm afraid she can only come up with this little thing. Except for these things, everything else has no value at all. The house at home was also bought by my parents, but now in this situation, the house is just a pile of steel and cement. Another thing is the balance in one's own bank card. No matter how much balance there is, what's the use? Do you think money can be exchanged for food in this situation now? Sisters, you may have misunderstood him. He is not my boyfriend. We are classmates. My classmate usually comes out to work part-time delivering food during holidays. It happened that the delivery arrived in our community and encountered such a situation again, which saved me what? He delivers takeout. Xiaoqi looked at Lin Yuan with uncertain eyes. The young man in front of him has already fantasized about various identities in his mind, but what he has no illusions about is that he is actually a delivery person. Speaking of which, is delivering takeout like this now? Do we need someone with such strong skills? Has all walks of life been rolled up like this? When he started killing zombies, his strength was so strong. You told me he was delivering takeout, why do I feel a little skeptical? Forget it, even if he's a delivery person, he still recognizes his strength. But sisters, if I do this, you won't be angry, will you? Everyone is 1,000-year-old fox, there is no need to play Liaozhai here. Moreover, they are all college students, and schools are mostly part of society. Society has not told you that you can eat for free. They are not your father or mother, why should they save you for no reason? Unless someone saves you, you can create corresponding value benefits for them. For example, after simple training, they can go out together to collect materials and make contributions to the team. Otherwise, why would they need free help? If as an adult, I don't even understand this principle of being a person, it seems that these 20 years have really been in vain. In this case, I can only choose the equivalent exchange and get what I need. I just thought it was my sister's boyfriend, but it seems that he misunderstood me. As long as we can survive, what is this sacrifice worth? Lin Yuan is just my classmate, why didn't he also choose equivalent exchange? Everyone understands these principles, how can one restrain others and demand that they do something? The identities of the two individuals themselves are based on inequality, and this situation is like fish and water. Water flows continuously without fish, and fish may be able to stay on the shore for a while, but after this time, they will undoubtedly die. Lin Yuan, I understand all the truths you've said. As long as you don't mind, I won't mind either. The rest of the conversation became quieter and quieter. Is it difficult to argue with others and ask them why they are doing this? Why choose to take advantage of the fire and then be slapped or thrown out to feed the zombies? When someone beats and cleans up, waiting to recognize reality, and in the end, if you want to survive, you have to continue doing so unless you want to die. Seeing what Xiaoqi was saying in front of him, Lin Yuan smiled. As the saying goes, communicating with smart people is time-saving and labor-saving. However, I just released too many skills due to rescuing others, and my mental energy is being depleted too severely. At this moment, I feel dizzy and tired. Through this incident, I have also come to understand a truth. Although my skills are powerful, they also consume a lot of my spiritual energy, so I must quickly improve my strength. Before zombie evolution and other supernatural beings appear, even if they cannot be completely eliminated, they must at least have the ability to protect themselves. There is a saying that goes, you can choose to use or not use weapons yourself, but if you don't even have weapons yourself, doesn't it mean that your little life in your hands has to be controlled by others? Powerful force is sufficient for deterrence, but it has been severely depleted, making it difficult. Then he collapsed onto the sofa beside him and fell into a deep sleep. Lin Yuan, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? What happened? Why was it that when I first returned to the room, I was so calm and didn't have a chance to say a few words? I just collapsed on the sofa and fell asleep soundly. On the side, Xiaoqi's face was full of question marks. Just now, wasn't his energy quite strong? When he slapped himself, he was not soft at all. How did he change when he returned to the room? Li Menglan spoke up and explained. Perhaps it's because he's been too tired these past few days, right? Too tired, where are you tired? Maybe it's because my body is too tired. Body. Yes, he went out this morning to collect a wave of supplies, and when he returned, his whole body was covered in blood. At noon, I had a simple meal, but I still snatched the food next door. In the afternoon, I went out to collect supplies, and when I heard from you again, they didn't hesitate to go out and rescue you. The end of the day has come in this situation, and there are all zombies outside. Not to mention letting them go out, even if they see the zombies outside through a layer of glass, they can be scared and limp all over. I'm afraid these zombies will smash the glass and rush in, devouring them alive. It was Lin Yuan who not only collected a large amount of materials but also saved us for our 3-in and 3-out efforts. Don't forget that everyone is classmates, except for different genders, they are all humans. They can kill 3-in and 3-out when there are all zombies outside, and their strength can only be described as super strong. Oh, oh. Xiaoqi screamed. What's wrong? I just remembered the photo they took in the homeowners group. Isn't that person Lin Yuan? At that time, I was still thinking about who this person was with such strong strength. Isn't that just being far away and close in front of me? Under the protection of others, moving from one room to another and traversing through zombies makes one's whole body tense with fear. This tense state of nerves is even more tiring than working hard for a day. Let him rest well on the sofa for a while. Xiaoqi approached and carefully examined Lin Yuan's face from a distance of about a few centimeters. Don't say that this guy is still very handsome, he belongs to the kind that becomes more and more durable as he looks at him. But his temper is not very good, and he even slapped himself in the face. Why don't he come back while he's sleeping? Think about it and forget about it. She can still distinguish between eating one meal and eating every meal. Gollum Gollum, just then came the sound of Gollum in my stomach. Why, are you hungry? Xiaoqi nodded. I didn't have time to eat from yesterday to today, only ate a fruit, and as a result, I heard a growl from my stomach protesting. There are also some fruits in the refrigerator. How about I bring you some to fill your stomach? No, 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 sisters, don't be joking. I ate fruits and cucumbers and tomatoes to lose weight. It's already the end of the world now, what's the point of losing weight? In this situation, eating and drinking enough is the greatest happiness, let's go ahead and cook. Prepare a few more dishes tonight and have a good meal. Ah, sisters, how can you cook?